Partying like it's 1565 is how St. Augustine chose to celebrate its 450th birthday. This 4-day event took place in the downtown district. It was the biggest event that St. Augustine has ever hosted.
We enjoyed a good big weekend.
Ted McLemore runs South Beach Grill on Anastasia Island. It's a good 20 miles from downtown, but he says his restaurant was packed.
The advertising for that event drew a lot of people here. You know, the hotels were booked, and therefore we had some collateral advantage from that.
That's completely different from what many businesses experienced with the Mumford & Sons concert here 2 years ago.
Mumford & Sons caught us by surprise.
Pat DuBose runs the Kenwood Inn Bed and Breakfast. She says downtown merchants initially expected a lot of business.
Virtually the computer was exploding with reservations, and then it was no space available within 10 miles, 25 miles, and people were absolutely going ballistic.
But the concert was located on the edge of town, and concertgoers didn't venture much further than the venue.
It never happened. It was very sad because the hype was extensive, but 450 made up for it.
The 4-day celebration and proximity to the concerts gave downtown restaurants a greater appeal to concertgoers during the 450th.
I think what really helped us is that there was a stage down the street off of Hippolytus Street, and that definitely we got a lot of people coming in and out of that.
Fiesta Jack's manager Shelby Robbins worked all 450th weekend and witnessed the never-ending crowds of hungry tourists and locals.
We were so slammed, it was ridiculous.
The downfall of the busy weekend was the shortage of time the restaurants had to restock and recuperate due to the large crowds.
I know they had to close a couple times, like midday, just because the food was going back was going out faster than we could make more food. So then they'd take an hour and regroup, kind of collect themselves and reopen.
One reason is the city found ways to encourage tourists to eat locally.
It was interesting that this time the city prohibited street food vendors, which I applaud them because first and foremost, let's take care of our restaurants.
I'm glad that the city did not allow food vendors, and that was a nice little caveat to the event that tourists were welcome to go into the local restaurants. I like that part of it.
While some locals may complain about the crowds, the merchants here agree that our little fishing town is the perfect place to host another spectacular event.
I will say the city is so polished right now to do these special events, and our tiny little town can rise to global quality events.
They've really sort of nailed it on these two big events. I would expect more to come. It's definitely turn the tide in terms of what's possible downtown.
Phenomenal. So if we can do that and on that kind of entertainment level in the future, I would want it. I would want it every year.